This video is for active reading skills practice. Be sure you have either your notebook with a T-chart on it and a pen or a pencil, or on your Google Doc. You can continue using the same Google Doc, and the T-chart left-hand side has details, the right-hand side has explanation. A police photograph of Harrison Bergeron was flashed on the screen upside down, then sideways, upside down again, then right side up. The picture showed it full length of Harrison against a background calibrated in feet and inches. He was exactly 7 feet tall. Pause. Add those details to your graphic organizer. To your reading notes, left-hand side details. How tall is Harrison? You may ask yourself a question at this point that you'll find the answer to later. Why did they flash the photograph in so many ways? You can leave that blank until we get the explanation later. Add those details to your T-chart. Let's continue. The rest of Harrison's appearance was Halloween and hardware. Nobody had ever borne heavier handicaps. He had outgrown hindrances faster than the HG men could think them up. Instead of a little ear radio for a mental handicap, he wore a tremendous pair of earphones and spectacles with thick, wavy lenses. The spectacles were intended to make him not only half blind, but give him winging headaches besides. Pause. Add those details to your left-hand side. The details about Harrison's appearance, about his handicaps, about his physical appearance and how it's been modified or changed. And then on the right-hand side, when you explain them, infer, why do you think that those items are on his body or attached? You'll get stronger and stronger toward the main idea the more that you answer your own questions. If they are what, when, who, why, or how questions. Let's continue. Scrap metal was hung all over him. Ordinarily, there was a certain symmetry, a military neatness to the handicaps issued to strong people, but Harrison looked like a walking junkyard. In the race of life, Harrison carried 300 pounds. Let's add those details. Notice how, again, the author is using compare and contrast to build the plot. There's typical, everybody else, and then now there's Harrison. Make note of of that difference. How does everybody else wear their handicaps? How does Harrison wear his handicaps? Let's continue. And to offset his good looks, the HG men required that he wear at all times a rubber ball for his nose, keep his eyebrows shaved off, and cover his even white teeth with black caps at snaggletooth random. Add those details to your notes. On the right-hand side, try to infer and explain why the HG, the handicap general, men would do that. Why would they have him alter his appearance? You're going to get closer and closer to that big idea and that main idea by answering questions like that. Let's continue. If you see this boy, said the ballerina, do not, I repeat, do not try to reason with him. There was a shriek of a door being torn from its hinges. Screams and barking cries of consternation came from the television set. The photograph of Harrison Bergeron on the screen jumped again and again as though dancing to the tune of an earthquake. George Bergeron correctly identified the earthquake, and well he might have, for many was the time his own home had danced to the same crashing tune. My God, said George, that must be Harrison. The realization was blasted from his mind constantly by the sound of an automobile collision in his head. Okay, so let's add to the details. There's a sound. There's another sound, and the photograph of Harrison has an effect on George. Identify what that effect is, and then answer this question. What is happening to George? So let's look at some of those details that we have to log, especially in that fourth paragraph. If you infer that he had a flashback and the sounds create that flashback, then you are getting closer and closer to that big idea. So let's answer the question, what is happening to George?